Are you a humble person the way you go through life? It's hard to do in these days. I mean, so much is about promoting yourself through social media, through your image. Everybody's always carefully crafting the image that they have in social media and people's minds and on the internet. And being humble. Being humble is, oh God, it's everything. There's no place on the spiritual path for somebody who's full of themselves. And life being what it is can take you down a few pegs. I had an experience where in 1992, I ran for president of the United States. It was the first time I was old enough to do that. And that didn't go very well. And obviously, I didn't get elected. And you probably never heard of me. I only got 268 votes. But anyway, it didn't go well. But that summer of 1992, I had an opportunity to be a stage manager for a show that was being performed at something called the Fringe Festival in Edinburgh, Scotland. If you've never heard of it, it's an amazing collection of shows ranging from comedy to dramas to Shakespeare to acrobats to dance companies and everything. Every square inch of the city is taken up with people doing shows. And there's so many shows to choose from. We had the least popular slot. The show that I was working with, we were in the middle of the afternoon, early afternoon. Make a long story short, hardly anybody was coming. And the woman who was the star of the show had spent a lot of money to get us invested into that festival. So she was kind of determined to do everything she could to get a crowd. She's like, wait a minute, you're running for president of the United States. I said, yeah, but it's not going very well. It doesn't matter. She gets an interview with me with the top newspaper in Edinburgh. And they interviewed me. They took some pictures, whatever. And, didn't think much of it. And then a day or two later, let me tell you what happened to me. Edinburgh, Scotland was crazy expensive. I was not in great financial shape as it was. I was staying in a youth hostel. And I was cutting corners in every possible way to try and save money. But I wanted to also see the shows there. I said, this is stupid for me to be here and not catch all these amazing shows. So I was working. There wasn't much work either, but I did get a job washing dishes in an Indian restaurant. And one afternoon after the show, I'm walking through the streets to get to my job, the Indian restaurant, and I pass by a newsstand, and there is my face on the front cover of this newspaper, where they're saying this guy who's here for the Fringe Festival is a presidential candidate back in the United States. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Here I am, okay, on the front page of this newspaper, and I'm going to wash dishes in a restaurant. And gotta tell you, the Indian guys who owned that restaurant, they got such a kick that a United States presidential candidate was washing their dishes. Go figure. But life is that way. If you ever get full of yourself and the things that you're doing or how things are going for you, make sure you ask God to keep you humble. The saying that be nice to the people on the way up because the same people you meet on the way down. And we're all human. You're not better than anybody else. Nobody is below you. But there's nobody above you. You're you. Okay? Love your life. And if you've gotten caught up with the whole times we're living in, which is all about promotion of yourself, okay? Say a prayer to God from your heart. Please keep me humble. Because I'm going to tell you honestly, if you do that, He will definitely do that. It may be a way that you don't like, okay? But I can't emphasize enough how important it is to strive for humility in your life. It's the only way to live. There's no place for ego in any of this. We're all God's children, and you're no better than anyone else, okay? All right. Thanks for listening to my story. Love you. God bless. Keep shining.